Welcome to the What's Happening Birmingham video podcast.
Hello, everyone. This is Jarvis S. Scott with What's Happening in Birmingham. Today, I have the honor and pleasure and first time on the podcast, Adelaide, Maddie of Set Me Up. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Jarvis. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to finally be on your podcast with you and tell you more about Set Me Up.
Yes, everyone. When I first came across her name, well, I've known her for years. She's in marketing and advertising, especially in PR, especially people in Birmingham. We all know each other, somewhat small circles, even we haven't met, but we've heard each other's name. When I heard about your new venture, I was like, wow, this is really neat during COVID, that's going on right now. And I love the name of the business, which was kind of called Set Me Up. So before we kind of go into what's the actual service, can you kind of tell the viewers how you came up with this concept and your story?
Absolutely. So the first thing that happened before I started this application was that my brother is single, and I wanted to set him up on a date with someone I know. And basically the whole entire process of getting them set up on a date was like very chaotic. They couldn't actually figure out a time between themselves to meet in person or anything. They couldn't figure out a place, location. They didn't even know about each other, like what they liked. And, they couldn't even get to the point of going on a date. And so I thought, why don't we just make this a lot easier with an application to where two people can get set up on a date through an application where the first time you meet in person, instead of, wasting hours of times chatting on these dating apps that, really just end in turmoil most of the times. So my app is very action focused, and I founded this probably about 4 months ago. I'd say it was September. So whenever that was, during Corona, it's just like, what time is it? But yeah, so I started in September, and since then I've been able to create an application, design it myself, and work with a development team to make it live and make it functionable. So the app is, underway as we speak.
Okay, so I like how you said people go through torment with them other dating apps. I'm not going to mention their name for free promo. But you're swiping left, swiping right, you're DMing, which a lot of people I like to call Facebook and Instagram the unofficial dating apps, because people would just dive into people's DMs and try to start the interaction from there. So how does Set Me Up work?
Yes, so the functionality of the app is really simple. You fill out your own profile, you fill out your interests, and then you take a personality questionnaire, because a lot of the other applications don't actually take personality into account. So what I have done is create a 11 question, 12 question questionnaire to where you answer specific questions to match you with someone who also is compatible with your own personality, instead of just looks, height. Girls are crazy about height. They have to be a certain height. And so it just kind of takes it a little bit more, it takes it deeper than just the surface level type connections that you get. The application is much slowed. It's basically completely slowed down from what the other apps do. Instead of like volume of matches, we're more focused on quality of the matches. So then that way you're matched with someone every 24 hours, you can accept or decline. And then once you accept that person and the other person also accepts you, you are able to get into a chat together. And this chat isn't a free-flowing chat. This is a very business-oriented chat in order to schedule a time and place and location to actually meet each other in person for the first time. And it's very different, but honestly, it's just taking the technology we have and optimizing it to modern day working professionals who, are looking to actually meet someone and get into a serious committed relationship.
So I must ask, who makes the first move? Does the ladies get to see the guys first, or the guys get to see the ladies, or how that kind of develop?
Yeah, so every person, you're going to get matched with them based on your personality questionnaire and your interest and your boundaries and shared compatibility with the other person. But the biggest thing that I'm going to introduce is have a video introduction. So it's not just going to be a picture or a weird bio or a picture of you and your friends. Like, what we want from our users is to have a video introduction, to sit there and say, I'm so and so, this is what I'm doing. And I encourage people to be as creative as they can. So it's going to be 10-second video, and that's going to sell you. So then the man or the woman, or the man and the man, or the woman and the woman, whoever is on the application, will be able to choose whether or not they want to meet this person in person via watching their video and seeing their profile.
Okay, so what can like the couples expect on the date? Like, do you all go as far as finding, like, if if the guys don't really have an idea, do y'all kind of set that up as well in a way?
Yeah. So the cool thing about this app is that we will actually have partnerships with local businesses, to where we can send you on a date to that local business. And we don't tell you, we can give you dating prompts, and through all of our marketing and communication, we're taking a very educational route. So we want to make sure that we're trying to educate people on how to go on a first date and how to be confident in going on dates. And are you ready to go on a first date? Because we don't really want people to get on our app and just think, oh, this is just a game. Like, this is like getting in a relationship with someone is very serious. So we want to help people have the tool to get into a relationship. But as far as the actual dates, we'll be able to have different types of dates. Eventually, I would really like to incorporate adventure style dates, to where you go skydiving or you go ziplining together on your first date, whatever it is. But for now, we're really just targeting Birmingham local hotspots that are COVID friendly.
Okay, and what if the first date is not a match? What do you do from there?
So if you go on the date and you meet in person and you did not like that person, there's no obligation to ever see them again. Like, you have, like, what we want to be is the helping hand to get you to find someone that you really like and want to be in a long-term committed relationship with. And the first date, if it doesn't work out, we plan on sending, follow-up questions to say, how was your date with so-and-so? How did it go? And to make sure that we're, getting a.
Oh, I see it. Oh, that's
Perks
fine.
of having a downtown office. So we want to make sure that we're helping people find the right person. So after the first date, you don't have any obligation to talk to them. But eventually, I would like to have the option to request a second date with that same individual if you really had a great time. So we'll be very heavy on feedback and making sure that we're optimizing your algorithm as you start to realize what you do and you don't like about the people we are matching you with.
Now, after, like you said, the algorithm, after the date, do you do somewhat like a post interview with both of the the girl, the guy, the man, the girl, about what they liked about it, what they didn't like about it? So sort of.
Yeah. So what we'll send is a follow-up question, questionnaire that says how to go, and then you can actually take notes on the app and rate your date, to say, like, it was a 5 out of 10 or it was a 6 out of 10, and then take notes. And you're able to have that date history in your app, so you can say, oh, I went on a date with Joshua in January, and I liked him, but this didn't really, make sense with him. So you're able to kind of use the app to your advantages to continue to educate yourself on what you like and what you're looking for. But as far as us, like, having in-person type interviews with the people afterwards, I'm trying to remove myself as much from the process. of these matches, because it's really a person and person and like in any dating only, hear people from going on more dates to, weed people out and understand the people they like more.
Okay, so I want to go back a minute, like we talked about, like the questionnaire. Do you do any other type of background as far as about the potential matches before?
Yeah, so we make sure as people get onto the application, we make sure that they, follow along with our guidelines and that they're legit people. So any sort of bots that try to create an account, like there's a two-factor authentication that actually goes on. So you're not going to be able to, make fake accounts and stuff like that. And as you match with people and as you have your account, um, if you get a bad rating and your profile gets reported, then it's kind of like one strike you're out, because we want to make sure that our platform has the best type of people on it. So basically we don't offer background checks at this time, but eventually I would like to add on a premium offer that is even more in the matchmaking for people that would like to have more customized matches, even more than what we can do.
Like, okay, so one thing I like when you mentioned earlier, you was talking about as far as with COVID, trying to, so how has that been kind of a challenge, or when I wouldn't say much of a challenge, but something you had to kind of overcome while doing this with the matches? So do you ask if they've had COVID or anything like that, or checks or something like that?
Yeah, so there's definitely precautionary measures to where you can check mark and check in that if you were exposed. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I get it. You keep going. Yeah, I'm here.
Hey,
Okay. Yeah,
okay.
I'm here.
So the COVID regulations that we are going to do will be sort of like before you go on a date, before you accept, you have to make sure that you are not, you or someone close to you has not been exposed to COVID. And if you would like to be on a socially distanced date, you can clarify that in your bio as well. So any sort of way that we can help people be safe and feel safe dating, especially during the pandemic, then we want to be able to take those measures.
Okay. So I guess first thing I should have asked you this question, but how much does the service cost? Like as far as you have
So
plan?
what's really great is that since we are able to take out the human aspect of matchmaking and make it more of a API type experience for our customers, we actually are only charging $2.99 per month if you want to go on one date, and then $5.99 per month if you want to go on 2 dates per month, and then $9.99 is our premium package, which offers 3 dates per month. So you can choose between those three, and it really just caters to people who want to go on more dates at once. But we're trying to cap it to make you not go on like 20 dates per month, because we want to make sure that you're actually taking the time to post game a little bit after the first date to make sure that that person wasn't for you or was for you.
So do now that you discussed like how much your service costs when the actual date, is that already negotiated? It's like whether people splitting it 50-50, or is it the guy that pays for everything? How have you worked that out so far?
Yeah. So in the questionnaire, before you even get matched with someone, you can clarify if you want to split bills with people, or you want to pay for the girl, or the girl wants to pay for the guy. I mean, who knows? You can customize everything about your profile, even down to who's paying for the date. I wanted to do that because there's so many awkward things about first dates, and if I can take away as many awkward conversations beforehand, then I can help people get to actually take the step to meet someone in person to go on a date.
Okay. So one of the things now that, since I like to call you a matchmaking expert, relationship expert. What have been some of your reactions so far from some of your clients as far as like the process, what they looking for, things like that?
Yeah.
Guys and men, I mean guys and
Yeah, it's been very, very fun. So in November and December, I sent around 60 people on dates in the Birmingham area. And I did it, I did it to make sure that this actually would work, would people actually show up in person? So a lot of the times, most everyone showed up to their date because I told them a time, a place. I didn't even give a photo to some people, but they still went on the date. And some people I did give a photo and I gave more information to see what exactly, would work. But the overall feedback from everyone who went on the date was that it was a very positive experience and that they wanted to do it again for the experience. And that's kind of why I went with the subscription model. So then people can actually go on a date per month, like something you look forward to every month to do. But the craziest thing is like, people are like, I loved it. I loved the experience, but I didn't like this person, which also told me that they'd want to go on different dates with different people. So it's all about us trying to kind of educate the society on how we're supposed to go, like how we should handle dating. And it's kind of like courtship, it's taking people and trying to understand if they're the right match for you. But yeah, it's been really fun and overall really great feedback on the experience. They just wanted to go on more dates with a different person. So that's why I'm, trying to accommodate them.
so, during this whole year of COVID and things like that, what are some things you've probably been hearing from, not trying to go back to the earlier question, but as far as like people frustrations with the dating scene now?
Yeah. So, I mean, what really sparked this, besides the fact that I wanted to be able to set people up on a date with each other, is that the current dating scene is very, very hostile. It's very focused on hookup culture and instant gratification. And I think that's definitely perpetuated by the other apps on the market. The type of people who get on these apps range. I mean, it could be people who just want to hook up with someone, and that's fine. But Set Me Up is for people who are ready to go on an actual date and get in a relationship. And I think that having that option for people is really going to change a lot of things, just because the overall just worldview on relationships and dating right now is tragic. It's very tragic. The bar is so low. The girls are having these crazy expectations for men, and the guys are, just wanting to see how easy it'll be to get someone to go on a date or, come to their house at 10 p.m., whatever it is. And you know what? I don't judge those people, but I do want to have an option on the market for people who can see beyond just the hookup culture and would actually like to find something real and attainable, especially during coronavirus, where someone is not able to go to a bar and meet someone, or brush by someone at the grocery store. I mean, you can, but they have a mask on, so you don't really know what they look like.
Yeah, you focus on seeing. I think people are paying more attention to people's eyes more than anything ever before.
Yeah, it's like this up.
Yeah, like look into their
Mhm.
eyes and everything. So just like I would say, as far as the app is launching sometime in the spring.
Yes. So the first round, because I got into Velocity Accelerator, I'm so grateful because I'm able to
Congratulations.
fund the. Thank you. I'm able to actually fund the application and pay the developers to make this a reality. So the app is due to launch in March. I don't know the exact date in March yet, but that'll be the first round, and it'll be available to everyone in Birmingham ages 25 plus. And I did that 25 plus because I don't feel like people are quite ready to, or even know who they are until they're about 25. And now I also want this to kind of be something people look forward to. It's like, oh, I'm 24. Next year I get to be on Set Me Up. Kind of like, you could rent a car when you're 25. You can get on Set Me Up when you're 25.
Yeah, I like that. That's really, really neat. So the website is
Oh, setmeup.io.
Okay, I like that. .io. That's something
Yeah,
quite
it's the
different.
tech. We're the tech version of the .com, the
Okay,
.io.
I like it, and I'll be remiss if I wouldn't have you mention what's the name of your other business?
Oh yeah, so I mean, this kind of all transitioned from my first business because my first business and my child baby is AMD, which is Adelaide Maddie Designs, and we work with several local businesses here in town and manage their creative work, graphic design, social media, and marketing. So it just was very easy to start another company because if you don't have the foundation of marketing and understanding your brand, even like beginning with a logo, then you can't really get started. So that was very helpful to start a new business, starting to know about everything like that.
Okay, and I guess one thing I want to add, because this topic we'll probably talk offline about a lot of this stuff, these topics, but I'm trying to stick straight to the app. Any final thoughts you want to add, or kind of tell a viewer right now that's kind of like, man, I'm just ready to give up on this dating scene because it's Corona and COVID.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say right now it's a very hard time if you feel very down in the dumps about the dating scene because it's very digital focused and people really are used to getting instant gratification, not actually trying to work on something. And some people aren't ready to put in the work to actually be in a real relationship. And you got to do a lot of soul searching before you're ready to be in a relationship. And unfortunately, if you don't know who you are and you get in a relationship, you could get married and then end up being a completely different person in 10 years because you didn't take the time to put in the effort to understand who you were before you're able to give yourself to someone else fully. So I'd say the biggest thing for people in Birmingham and beyond, as Set Me Up becomes a real app and becomes a real thing, I would love for everyone just to keep in mind that you have to know who you are to get into a relationship and then just put yourself out there and actually get and go on these dates in person. And it could seem scary, but after the first date, you could go on another date and the next guy could be your husband or could be your wife. So it's exciting.
Now, I always like to ask a question that I know the viewers will probably want to know. Out of those, when we mentioned earlier, you was like you had 50 people go out on dates. Has anybody actually got into a relationship from that so far?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
We've had about 3 relationships and some of them like one of them actually lasted. They went on like another 5 dates and they were in a relationship for like 2 months. But then it came out to like figure out that they didn't actually know who they were. So it's all comes back down to understanding what you're looking for. And I think that's why Set Me Up is the perfect tool to get you to the place you need to be personally and also get you the confidence to go on dates with people and try to figure it out instead of, just sitting at home with your cat.
Or your dog.
Yeah, or your dog.
So.
So.
Well, friend, thank you so much for coming on today. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. I think this app is going to really blow up. And by the time people watching this video, I'll be like, she was on my podcast first. Because I see it,
Yeah.
I can see you on CNBC and all those shows real soon because I really like the approach that you're kind of taking to it. It's a very, very thoughtful and methodical approach and everything.
Well, thank you for having me on here and seeing something in the company. I'm just really thankful that this is resonating with people because so many times people create things and if it's not resonating with people, then it may not get out in the world. So I really appreciate you seeing something and Set Me Up and giving us the spotlight to talk about it.
All right. Well, thank you all for watching this video today. Please check out Set Me Up. Visit that site, setmeup.io. Please check out what's happeningbirmingham.com for more videos. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you all again and have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching the What's Happening Birmingham video podcast. Please check out our website, app, or subscribe to our YouTube channel for the latest videos today.